Hi everybody, this is Frilioth and welcome to another Minecraft episode on the Frilcraft server. Right, as you remember, in the last episode we went to the end and did a bit of flying around and got ourselves some shulker boxes, which I've got in my ender chest here, which we'll get out in a second and have a play with. But the reason for getting them is because I didn't want to keep running about back and forwards getting supplies and whatever when I started doing a bit of building. And it's come to that stage where I want to do a little bit of building. Now, in the past, I've made witch farms, and if I'm being honest, they haven't been great. I've gone at it half-cocked and probably not done enough groundwork, and consequently, the spawn rates haven't been great. I was going to say poor, but they haven't been that good. So I've found myself a witch farm. There's another witch farm actually over there behind me, about 500 blocks. So it's just a little bit too far to make a double witch farm. And my base is just behind the back of that mountain, about 500 blocks away that way. So this is the closest witch hut to my base. So I thought I'd make a farm here. So what I've done so far then, while you've been gone, I've lit up loads of caves just over there where the blue flowers are, just above my head. Over that way there's a ravine, a crevice, a whatever you want to call it, in the ground, goes down quite a long way. So I started lighting that up and it took me all around here, all underneath here, and I've lit up loads and loads of caves. And as you can see from the map in the top right hand corner, there aren't many things spawning, which is brilliant. And it's taken me days, it's taken me a good couple of days to do it. What I've got to do now is clear out a little bit more of this land. I think there's about 50 or 60 blocks of water around here. I mean, that land there has to go, and just a little bit, just got to go back just over there a little bit. And then I'll be ready to start building my patented witch farm, which I've built before in one of my previous episodes on the Just Vanilla server, but because I didn't like the caves up properly, it wasn't very good. But anyway, what I'm going to do is do a little bit more digging. Hello, Witchy. I'm going to do a little bit more digging while it's daylight and I'm not like to get jumped on by anything, and then hopefully we'll get back and start playing with the witch. Okay, so I've dug out quite a bit more and my shovel's about to break, so I'm going to have to stop. But I think I've dug out enough, and as you can see from the map, there's still nothing spawning close enough for me to be able to see them on the map, apart from Witchy over there. So I'm hoping that I've lit up enough, and all I've got to do now is build the spawning platforms. Now the platforms themselves, the bounding box for the witch hut starts just one block above the top of the witch hut, and it goes down at the bottom spawning platform is going to be just above the level of the water, which gives us 3 spawning floors. But before I can do anything, I'm gonna have to get rid of old Witchy like that. So now I can go in, and the bounding box as well is 9 by 7, 7 by 9, 9 by 7. And I want to build this out of spruce. But I can't do that until I've sorted myself out some spruce. That's better. So this is going to be the bottom floor that they can spawn on. 6, and it's the same size as the roof, apart from the front, which comes out an extra one because of this veranda kind of thing here. That there. So that gives us a spawning floor of 9 by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Brilliant. 9 by 1, 2, 7. So what I'm going to do, to save you hanging about and watching me place blocks and break them, I'm going to completely demolish the witch farm as you see it here, and then I'm going to build 3 spawning floors. And then what I'm going to do is just do a little AFK just over there, far enough away to be able to shoot the witches when they spawn, but close enough for them to be able to spawn, because I want to just test it to make sure I've got the right bounding box. I've done a bit of testing on my world, on my single player world, but I just want to make sure, because there's no point in having 3 spawning floors if you only spawn on 2 of them, or even worse, 1 of them. So I'm just going to do a bit of ripping out and rebuilding, and I'll join you back here in a minute. Okay, the platforms are made, the sun's going down. Hopefully we should start getting witches spawn on there as soon as it gets dark, because there's nowhere for anything else to spawn. I mean, that's close enough, but if it's going to cause me a problem, I'm going to start doing this half cocked again, and I've got to go and repair my shovel, and I've got to dig all of that out, all of it, because otherwise this is just not going to be a very efficient farm. And I really do want a witch farm that's reasonably efficient. Never had one. So anyway, I'm going to AFK here for this evening and count how many witches I managed to spawn. Okay, so I've been here all night, and we've had quite a few, and I've got the last 3 or so there, and they seem to be spawning reasonably regularly. So I'm actually quite excited about this. It looks like it might be a half decent farm, and because of all of the work we've done digging everything out and lighting it all up, did a little bit more digging over there. My shovel's about to die again, but I did a load of digging over there and a load of digging over the back, and now the ground, the soil, the grass, whatever you want to call it, is about 100 blocks away. So anything now that spawns on the island when it gets dark on the land, it should despawn, because I'm going to be AFK a little bit, 30 or 40 feet or blocks above the witch farm. So anything that spawns on the island should instantly despawn. So that should help the spawn rates as well. And as I say, they've been spawning regularly on all 3 platforms. So I'm liking this already. I think this is going to be great. So what I need to do now is get rid of those guys, get out my redstone-y goodness, and start building the farm. And the farm I'm in an iron about the kind of farm to use. It's going to be water based. I'm going to be using water. I did toy with the idea of using dispensers, but I think I'm going to use pistons instead. And that's going the floors are going to alternate, so it's going to flush the top floor and the bottom floor and leave the middle one for witches to spawn on, and then it's going to flush the middle floor and leave the top and bottom floors for the witches to spawn on. So there's always a floor for the witches to spawn onto, and that's going to push them off the edge. Now I did think about having the drop straight down, but if I have the drop straight down 32 blocks, I'm going to have to AFK close enough so any caves under here that haven't been lit up will be spawnable. Now I've lit up most of them, but I don't know whether I've lit up all of them. The alternative method would be for me to have the witches go into an elevator, a water elevator, which takes them upwards and then spits them out, 60 blocks up, and then they fall down 30 odd blocks, and that's where I'm going to be AFK. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have a platform at the top that I'm going to AFK on, that's going to have all my storage and everything, and the witches are going to be flushed off of the platforms into a water elevator that's going to take them up. And instead of talking about it, why don't I just crack on and do it? So firstly, I need to get rid of these guys. Hey, Witchy. Bye, Witchy. So I'm going to get all my stuff out. I need to make the platform a little bit bigger as well. Let's say this is the exact size of the bounding box of the witch hut. So all of these need to be spawnable. So any redstone or anything else I put on here needs to be outside of this bounding box. So I'm going to stick down my ender chest. Look at this. I've got stuff in it and everything. Look at that. I tell you what, Couldn't be happier. Love out my redstone-y goodness. I've got plenty of gear in there. And I'm going to start throwing down some redstone. So let me put down some redstone and a bit of a perimeter. And then we'll have a look at it. Okay, so I'll put the first row of pistons in, just to show you what I've done. Now, as we all know, water flows 8 blocks. So from there to the end, to this end here, is 8 blocks. So when these pistons go down, there's water above it. The water's going to fall down and completely flush this floor all the way to the end. And what flushes this floor is this. Oh dear, come on. Let's get rid of this then. Here's me being all clever. Is that there? Let the dog see the rabbit. Is that here? Now I've used the mechanic that allows water to flow downwards before it flows horizontally. So it'll always flow vertically as a priority before it flows horizontally. So that means that I can put the redstone on these blocks to power the pistons, and I don't have to worry about having repeaters everywhere and, you know, blocking this off, because the water's not going to run this way and mess up with the redstone, he says all confidently. Yeah, so there you go. So the water comes down and it immediately goes that way, because that's the quickest way for it to get to a lower level. I know what I mean. I'm just not very good at explaining it, am I? So anyway, the water comes down there, flows onto this platform, flushes everything to the end. Perfect. I can't... Why don't I put another block there instead of just keep falling off? There you go. Then what we're going to do on this one is exactly the same, only we're going to use a torch tower, so that the bottom floor... When the bottom floor is being flushed, the next floor, this floor, isn't, because obviously the redstone is being powered by the torch tower. Does that make sense? It makes sense, doesn't it? We all know it makes sense. So I'm just going to stick some pistons over here. Should I do this while you're on? Are you going to get bored if I do this now? Yeah, no doubt. This is going to take a lot longer than I thought. It's not a tutorial, so I'm just going to do it. So basically, that's the gist of it. We're going to have a piston on each. We're going to have pistons on each floor. We're going to have water above the pistons. We're going to have each floor flushing, flooding, alternately. I couldn't even get my words out then. So let me do that. Let me get the rest of the redstone in, and then we'll have another look prior to me setting up the clock. Alright, well, I've gone ahead and built it. I do that often, don't I? I say I'll do a little bit and then I'll bring you back and show you what I've done. And then I finish up building all of it. Well, anyway, I've finished up building pretty much all of it. So this is the farm as is. And I'm reasonably happy with it. I mean, I've still got to put a roof on it, so it's not completely finished. But I don't think it looks out of place. I'm liking it anyway. I've currently got all floors flooded. Because I was getting things spawn on there. I only had to go sort of 20 blocks away and I'd get witches spawn on there. So I've got the floors so they are constantly flooded at the moment, so I don't have to worry about things spawning on there. And I've also got a bit of light at the top because I was getting stuff spawn up there as well. Oh, look at that. I've got a zombie somewhere. See? Oh, he's gone. He must have been quite far away then. So I've got to put the roof on, which is going to be upside down slabs. So the roof's going to go straight across there and then off at an angle. You know, that kind of thing. I'll show you that when I've finished. But what I want to do now is just add the clock. The hopper clock under here. So if I grab my redstone, I don't have anywhere to put anything. So if I get these hoppers out and these comparators, why have I got no room? That's right, because I've got zombie flesh everywhere. Get those blocks, get some dust. Get comparators. What else do I need? That'll do for the time being, won't it? Yep. So we need the power to go into that block there. So if we stick the repeater there, I'm not going to have enough room there, am I? Maybe I will. Maybe I will. So if I stick the repeater there, I'm going to... Oh, man, that frightened me to death. Did you see that squid there? Find me to death. I'm going to finish it. I will finish up getting everything before I start, no doubt. It's never going to happen, is it? So I need to stick that there. I need to put pistons there and there. I need to put that on there. I need to put a blob of dust just there and there. So this is going to be your basic hopper timer. I'm sure you guys have built hopper timers before. Good old ether. What would we do without ether? That like that. That there. That there. Block there, block there. Now if I stick, I don't know, about, what do we say, 20 items or so? I'm pretty sure it's 20 items. So if I do that, now I've got to go around and replace some of the redstone torches. Actually, before I do that, before I do any of that, I want to put in the tower, because as soon as they start flushing and unflushing, I'm going to start getting things spawn on there. So this is going to be the last time I jump cut, but I need to put ice in there all the way up, and then have the place where the witches are going to fall onto, where the hoppers go, and I'm going to put the roof on. But I just wanted to build something on camera actually, because I seem to be doing a lot of jump cutting. So anyway, that's going to be the mechanism. So now every time that goes over there, it's going to turn the torch off, which is going to affect the torch tower. Anyway, enough of that. I'm going to go... Oh, crikey. I'm going to go and put a roof on this bad boy and put the water in there. So the next time you come back, this should be up and running and ready to give it a test. Okay, so I've done the roof. I've put the not the item elevator, sorry, the witch elevator, the witch water elevator in, which goes up there, drops down about 35 blocks, the full damage kills them, and look at that already. It's only been going for, I don't know, 5 minutes while I've been moving the Nether Portal. So it was over there. I've now decommissioned that one. I've moved it over to here, fired it up. Fortunately, it still links with the one in the Nether, so I didn't have to do a lot of messing around. With these being upside down or bottom half slabs, I don't have to worry about lighting. Nothing's going to spawn on here. I've also put a ladder up the back. I think I'm going to AFK up there to start with, just to see whether that's far enough away. If it's not, and I have to go a little bit further, then I'll have to go a little bit further. I've also stuck a ladder over here. Whee! So I can get up onto the roof. But what I want to do now is just spend a couple of minutes out here to see whether or not this works as well as I'm hoping it will do. I really can't see in there. Maybe I needed some night vision potion. Maybe. Let's get over here a little bit. Give it a bit of room. I mean, something's spawned. Yeah, there they are. Can you see them? Oh man, there are loads of them. There are absolutely loads of them. I tell you what, if you do the groundwork and you clear out the area, I mean, there's still something, you can see it on the map. There's something under me there that's spawned. So there's a dark area below me. but only one at the moment. Look at those. I couldn't be more chuffed, actually. I'm really, really surprised. I've never had a witch farm this efficient. That's fantastic. And I'm glad I've got the ice farm. That made filling that up with water so much easier. I wonder why they've suddenly stopped though. After the initial flurry. Oh no, there's some more down there. Oh, that is... Oh, I might be able to see a little bit better now. Now the rain's gone. I can see clearly now. The rain has gone. Oh, actually not that clearly. But anyway, it seems to be working brilliantly. Because the water... there's always a floor free to spawn onto. So that means that we're not losing any spawns, which is brilliant. I'm dead pleased. Well, I'm just going to spend the last couple of minutes, well, I'm just going to go up there and spend 20 minutes up the top just to see. Oh, we've got, how have we got those in there? Have we got mobs in there? I thought that only witches could spawn inside a witch hut. And yet clearly we've got zombies in there. They're going to drown at the moment, or they're going to drown at the moment, sorry. But in the next snapshot, when we finally upgrade to 1.13, they won't drown. They will stay at the bottom and turn into... Look at this. This is brilliant. They'll stay at the bottom and turn into drowned, which might cause me a problem if they continue to spawn in the witch hut. And so far, that light back there, that redstone torch, doesn't seem to have caused too much of an issue. And there they are. The little witches. Right, let me get up to the top. And see if we can see over the edge at how many witches are spawning. Because I'm thoroughly chuffed with how, A, how this looks, and B, how efficient it is. I mean, already. And it's been going 5 minutes. Yeah, thoroughly impressed. Frills, well done. You can't see it, but I'm patting myself on the back. Well, I couldn't be any more pleased with that. That is brilliant. It's the best witch farm I've ever made. And I've made a lot of witch farms. And this one is by far the most efficient. So clearly doing the groundwork and clearing everything out works. And that's the key to it all. Yeah, if you're going to build one of these bad boys, make sure you do the groundwork. And otherwise you're just going to get really poor spawns. I do need to try and figure out why I'm getting other mobs in there. I'm not quite sure why that is, but I'll work on that. But at the moment, it's not causing me any problem at all. And look at that. Look at the amount of witches that we've got. That is fantastic. Very pleased with that. So I think we'll call it a day for today then, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. It's been brilliant having you along. If you have enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to leave it a like. And if you've really loved it, don't forget to subscribe for future videos. This is Frilioth at my new witch farm, and I am out of here.